The Huskers just got their last commitment of the summer yesterday. Four-star wide receiver Isaiah Mosey flipped from Oregon to Nebraska. Now, all eyes have shifted from the 2025 class to the 2026 class. So in today's video, we have a highly requested one. I'm going to be going over my 5 most coveted Nebraska football targets in the 2026 cycle, many 4 stars and 5 stars. I'm going to go over who they are, what they bring to the table, and what their interest is in the Big Red. So really quick, I have a jam-packed recruiting video for today. Make sure to hit that like button. If you're starting to get excited about the season, we're 3 weeks away, folks. Get pumped up. And hey, if you're new to the channel or just a returning viewer, make sure to subscribe. I post a video talking Nebraska football every single day, and it's all gas, no breaks. So if you're a diehard fan of this program and you want daily content this fall, talking about your favorite team, hit that subscribe button. It would help me out greatly. But without further ado, let's get into it, talking about Nebraska's 2026 class in the 5 players who are the most coveted for Matt Rhule and the Big Red. Let's go to my number 1 guy. This should not be a surprise to most people who cover or follow Nebraska recruiting. This is Jackson Cantwell, the number 2 player in America, plays offensive tackle. And yeah, this is going to be a recruiting process to watch out for if you're a Husker fan. He's listed at 6'8", 300 pounds, coming out of Nixa, Missouri. Multiple sport athlete, plays basketball along with football, and is also one of the best shot putters in America. Both of his parents were Olympians. But talking about him on the football field, of course, number 2 player in America, consensus 5-star recruit, and he is just a mauler. Plays offensive tackle, very developed in the pass pro, really good technique, footwork, uses his hands very well, uses his size at an elite level, and just a pancake type of blocker. And he's very interested in the Huskers. He actually has some Nebraska ties. His mom grew up in Crete, Nebraska. So he grew up around the state. He grew up actually rooting for the Huskers. For that reason, he's been on campus a couple times in Lincoln, talking with Matt Rhule, talking with the coaching staff. He visited Lincoln versus Michigan last year, met guys like Will Compton and a couple other recruits who are currently Nebraska commits. So again, he has a lot of Nebraska connections, and he said time and time again, he believes in what Matt Rhule is doing here. He thinks Nebraska is going to be on the up and up, and for that reason, I believe if he were to make a top 3 right now of his top 3 schools, Nebraska would be right up in there along with schools like Alabama, Georgia, perhaps even in Tennessee. So yeah, I mean, number 2 player in America. Yeah, of course he's going to be my most coveted prospect, especially on the offensive line. You know how it is on this channel. We love offensive linemen here, and we need to bring back the pipeline. So Jackson Cantwell, expect him to get on campus once again this fall, probably for that Colorado game, if not later in the year. And for that reason, Nebraska wants him badly. First off, I want to mention this real quick. Think about how good David Sanders is right now for the Huskers, and if we could land him. Jackson Cantwell, when his senior year is all said and done, he's probably going to be better. So Jackson Cantwell, very good prospect. Nebraska wants him very badly. Let's keep it on the offense. Now, with my second player, running back, this is Devin Walker, listed at 5'10", 180, top 100 running back in America, 4-star. And is he a difference maker? You look at the offer list. Georgia, Oregon, Notre Dame, among many others. And you watch him on film. He's a kid coming out of Missouri. Like a lot of other prospects, he has track speed, runs about a 4.3, really good juke move. He has the ability to break a couple tackles as well. And he's one of those running backs that no matter where he is on the field, he can take it to the house. One thing I really like about him as a prospect is not only is he a track back, he has a very shifty part of his game, but he can also catch passes. You feel good about him in the pass pro. So Nebraska can use him all over this offense. And once again, very interested in the Huskers. He visited Nebraska on the last day of July. A couple other schools are in the mix, Missouri, Tennessee, Kansas, but the Huskers are right up in there for his talents. And like I've said in the past, talking recruiting, if there's one state Nebraska wants to lock down, it's the state of Missouri. The first 2 guys I'm talking about here are from that state, St. Louis, Kansas City. Those areas are just getting better. In Nebraska, man, they got to really build a foothold there because you could get a bunch of solid 4 stars and 5 stars for years to come in that border state. So watch out for Missouri, but Devin Walker, expect him to come on campus once again this fall. Let's go back to a 5-star prospect, this time the number 1 athlete in the class of 2026. Brandon Arrington is my 3rd most coveted prospect. And yeah, I mean, guy who plays on both sides of the ball, wide receiver, defensive back. You look at the offer list, Bama, Oregon, Georgia, Oklahoma. Everybody wants him. And yeah, man, is he a special player. Coming out of California, he loves Tony White, said that Tony White believed in him and that he really has a tight-knit connection with that coaching staff. But his interest in Nebraska is a little bit more than that. He likes that the Huskers are building a connection in California. Of course, he visited Lincoln a couple weeks ago for Elite Day. But Brandon Arrington very, very much likes Nebraska's history. He likes Tony White. He likes our coaching staff along with Matt Rhule, and once again believes that we're on the up and up. So Brandon Arrington, another guy we have to watch out for. Now the Huskers are recruiting him to play defensive back. Another guy who is a track kid who has that background. So again, runs about a 4.3, just an explosive athlete. And Nebraska's in the mix along with schools like Alabama and Oregon. So watch out for Brandon Arrington. He said he'll try to get on campus once again this fall. And if I'm the Huskers, I'm trying to load up that Colorado game because that's going to be an environment like we've never seen before. Try to get as much good talent there as possible because not only are you going to win that game, but it's going to be loud, it's going to be hectic, and those recruits are going to come away impressed. They're never going to see anything like that again until they get to Lincoln as a player. So let's go to my 4th most coveted prospect. Now on the defensive side of the football, once again, this guy plays safety. Jaden McGregory, 4-star player coming out of Iowa, the number 1 player in that state. And you watch him on film. I mean, he is a complete ball hawk. Listed at 6'2", 180, offers from Michigan, Mizzou, Iowa, Iowa State. Right now, Nebraska's the betting favorite to land his talents according to On3. He loved his visit a couple weeks ago, said that he already has a good connection with John Butler, our new defensive backs coach, and really likes the way that the Huskers can use him in this defense. I mean, Jaden McGregory is a do-it-all type of guy. You could put him at nickel corner. You can put him at rover. You could put him at free, strong safety. So really feel good about his future. And once again, he'll try to get back in the fall for another visit. But this would be a huge addition. The number 1 player in Iowa. We love to go over to the Hawkeye State and get one of their best recruits. I think we could do it again here in McGregory. So he plays safety. Now let's go to my 5th and final most coveted prospect. Let's take it back to the offensive line. This is very important for Nebraska recruiting, my most important position, Hudson Parliament. This is my guy. I've talked about him all offseason, how I think he's just a phenomenal prospect. He's great, folks. So he plays offensive tackle along with offensive guard. Number 1 player in South Dakota. He should be a 4-star. And when we're talking about him on the field, very developed in the pass pro, developed in the running game, a straight mauler, listed at 6'4", 300 pounds. And what I've said about him in the past is that after his junior campaign this fall, he's going to blow up. He's going to start to get offers from teams like Alabama, Georgia, Tennessee, SEC schools. They're going to try to get involved here because that's how good he is as a prospect. Now, right now in Hudson Parliament's recruitment, I'd say Nebraska is the favorite alongside the Iowa Hawkeyes, who really likes Iowa's history of bringing offensive linemen to the NFL. Wisconsin's also in the mix. Minnesota's also in the mix, but you got to try to lock this guy down very quick because some real deal schools are going to get involved very soon if you aren't careful. So those are my 5 most coveted players Nebraska's going after in the class of 2026. It was hard to come down with only 5 guys. Of course, there's a bunch of others the Huskers are going after. Of course, Isaac Jensen, the number 1 player in Nebraska. You could throw in a guy like Deion Raiola. You could throw in a guy, a couple other guys from the state of Nebraska there. But those are my 5 most coveted players. Let me know down below. Do you think we land some of these guys? Is there a player I didn't mention who you really want? Let me know in the comment section. Hey, if you made this far in the video, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. And as always, folks, go Big Red, go Matt Rhule, and see you in the next one.